Hey everybody, Thomas Joyner with My Business on Purpose here. Thanks so much for jumping in with us for a little bit. Uh, just to talk about some things that are coming down the road. Some things of just this business world's really just unsure. It's unsecure, and people keep asking us, hey, what do we do to prepare? And so today, I want to give you 4 ways to prepare for what some call a recession, what others would say, hey, we're just not sure. And so just maybe business uncertainty. You know, a few months back, I was driving the most beautiful stretch of interstate on God's green earth, right? I-26 between Orangeburg, South Carolina, and Columbia. One of those long stretches where it's 40-foot tall pine trees as far as the eye can see. And I start to notice just clouds stacking up in the distance, right? And as we got closer and closer, cars start just disappearing into it a mile or so out. And here I am driving 70 miles per hour right at it. Just kind of an eerie gray about it, and we can't really see into it or see through it or see what's on the other side or what's inside. None of it. And the closer we got, the more questions started popping into our head. And it was fine. It was a bad storm that we had to slow down for, but we made it through and there was sunshine on the other side. And yet, as I think about the state of business right now today, that's the collective feeling that we get. We can see a long way out. A lot of us are booked months, maybe a year or more into the future. And yet there's this big cloud out there and this buzzword that we keep hearing, recession. For some reason, nobody can really identify what it's going to look like once we arrive at this thing, right? How bad is it going to be? We'll be able to drive our business through it normally, or we're going to have to slow down at all? Should we be nervous, or maybe just push through as quick as possible to the other side? But here's what we do know. None of us know how bad it will be yet. We do know that there's some changes we're going to have to deal with, and those changes in our exhausted state of just getting through the past 2.5 years of post-COVID reality. We also know that we can prepare. We can prepare for whatever that storm looks like. We can do work, put in the work today to get our business ready so that we can do more than just kind of white knuckle the steering wheel all the way through it. And so I wanted to give you 4 questions you need to answer today to prepare for whatever is around the corner. So hold on tight, write these questions down, come back to them, discuss them with your team. They're powerful. And that way, no matter what happens in the middle of this thing, you can know that you have put in the work to be ready. So the first question, what are the rhythms to equip our team with so that they're free to run full speed towards the vision? You know, I coached high school lacrosse for 7, 8 years. And every year we would do the same thing. We'd have a parent meeting and outline the full year of what we needed to do to ultimately win a state championship. Things like fall weightlifting and conditioning. Here's the times and places, commit to it, and just show up. Tutoring, Tuesdays, Thursdays, after school so your grades are in line. Friday film sessions, installing offense, defense, special team, everything that we needed to do to make sure that our final goal of a state championship was in reach. And if we can plan a year of high school lacrosse with that kind of intentionality, why can't we do the same with our business? What rhythms do we need to equip our team with so they're free to run full speed towards the vision? What do we need to commit to daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, you name it, to build the culture and equip your team to run towards the vision? It's a question worth diving in, figuring out what you need to commit to. Second question, knowing our mission, what would we do in response to our primary lead source drying up? This is kind of a scary one, right? We've been talking about this cloud that's out there. This storm that may be short, it may be long, it could be intense, not so bad, who knows? And so how do we kind of pivot in the midst of that? And what would happen if your primary lead source, your primary faucet of business shut off or rapidly slowed down? Now, you do need to know what your primary lead source is. That's something to think through, talk through with your customers, talk through with your team. Do we even know who our primary lead source is? Here's what we're not saying. We're not saying it will shut off, but how do we diversify? How do we kind of anticipate some things and look up and be able to see, all right, this may be coming our direction. We need to spread our wings a little bit and allow for change in the future. It's a great conversation to have to figure out what other faucets may we be able to turn on there. Number 3, what would need to happen if something happened to me? It's a scary question. This is something we spend a lot of time on. Hopefully nothing ever does, but the business needs to be ready. What processes do you need to record? What systems need to be built? What happens if someone gets promoted within and you need to train their replacement quickly? is stuff happens all the time, and businesses are set back because they aren't ready. Things aren't written down. Nothing's documented, nothing's in place, and so we just wing it and we say, well, we'll train you on the job, and the business suffers. So ask everyone in your business that question and let the answer push you to get things written down. Maybe to build out a master process roadmap for the first time. Be sellable. That's the whole goal with this thing, is to equip your team that if something happens to somebody, you're able to fill it and your business doesn't skip a beat. Question number 4. How does my role directly affect the financial health of the business? This one's huge. Having a simple conversation with your team around what makes you profitable. Helping them understand that they play a key role in that profitability. Show them what happens when a dollar enters the business and what's left over at the end. And insider information, you don't make 100% profit, but that's what your team thinks. They see $1,000 receivable and they say, man, our business owner just made $1,000. No, show them your cost of goods, your insurance expenses, payroll taxes, and on down the line. It's helpful for them to see it all written out and realize that a dollar is not a dollar. A dollar that comes in the business does not equate to a dollar of profit. No, we got to steward that well, and it takes all of us. Listen, we don't know what is around the bend, but we do know we can prepare in these 4 key areas: with our people, with our purpose, with our process, and with our profit. Once you touch on all 4 of those things, you'll be well on your way to being prepared for whatever this next season, whatever this recession may look like. It takes some of the uncertainty out of it, because you know that no matter what comes our way, we'll be ready to turn different faucets on for sales, to equip our team to continue to run towards the vision and free us up to be the business that we're supposed to be. Hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoy that. Hope you take the time right now to schedule time to think through all this with your team. Thanks so much.